Hello friends, I am Dr. Alka Mukherjee. I am a medico-legal consultant from Nagpur. Today I am going to enlighten you all regarding a very important topic, that is mob violence against doctor, which is the need of our today. Coming to introduction. Who is a doctor? Doctor is a person who is trained and licensed to treat the sick and injured people. The most dedicated personnel with the utmost feeling for caring and healing. Once upon a time, he was or she was considered next god on the earth. But with urbanization and changes in the society, the respect of doctors or clinician, we all know, has been drastically reduced. And now in the 21st century, outburst and the mob violence against the hospital is increasing globally after the unsatisfaction or death of the patient. Let us see some of the reasons for vandalism. The first and foremost reason is envy. Doctors are victims of general envy because in society they have some social status, they enjoy some good social status in the society. Most of the people, ordinary people, they cannot digest this fact. The next important factor is general public image of a doctor. The general public image have an undesirable opinion, immoral opinion about the doctors and hospitals because of many unethical practices like cut, undue and unethical pharma sponsorship for doctors and exorbitant bills by the corporate hospitals. The third thing which is important is the frustration in the common man. The poor and the underprivileged person, they are frustrated because on one hand the government hospitals, they are not approachable. They lack in the basic amenities and facilities for the ordinary people. And on the other hand, the private hospitals, the corporate hospitals, they are very costly. Hence they go to the single setup hospital which is run by a single doctor. The small nursing home owners, they are very vulnerable. They are vulnerable because of lack of inadequate security, insurance, inadequate staff and inadequate financial management. Such a setup often has only one doctor who is giving services. There is only one entry door. There is no provision or exit during mob attacks. The next important factor in our country is healthcare literacy. Our government spends very less on the healthcare facilities and healthcare literacy is very low in our country and success is taken for granted. This success is taken for granted because of the doctors only, the success sagas of doctors. To an extent, doctors, they are blamed for this. Doctors never highlight about possible complications during procedures and surgeries in the articles and talks given in the media. They usually take pride in advertising their own success stories in managing the challenging cases and refrain from highlighting their failures which are part of the medical profession. Media manners. Media takes more interest in highlighting the incidences which are against the doctors, the mishaps, the complications and paint the doctors involved as satans or culprits just to increase their sell and TRP of their news channels or papers, and they misuse their journalism. Next comes the role of politicians. Politicians and media alike, they find doctors as soft targets. During confrontations between doctors and general public, politicians always back the general public to please their vote bank. As the society has evolved and population becomes more literate, it is expected that vandalism against doctors and healthcare establishments would decline. But recent incidences have shown that the culprit involved in such incidents are surprisingly very well educated and well placed economically. Coming to mob psychology. What happens as soon as a mishap is communicated to the relatives? There is a natural knee-jerk reaction from the attending relatives. The news spread like a fire and brings you more relatives. These relatives the doctor never had seen, they start asking questions about the incidents. And what the single setup emotionally drained doctor will do? Doctor may lose his cool as he is forced to provide an explanation repeatedly and situation may get tense. As the news of the mishap spreads in the area where the patient stays, the local populations gets instigated to visit the site. This may include the local goons, local politicians, local dissatisfied old patients and some who just come to watch the fun. These people, they lack intellectual reasoning and they are waiting to take advantage to please their vote bank. Just a call by even one person, Maro ya Todo, can instigate the crowd to barge in and start the vandalism. Situation can go out of hand in no time. Certain tips for the hospital workers in case of impending violence. They should watch for the signals like anger, frustration or body language such as threatening gestures. They should see for the signs of drug or alcohol intoxications in the attendants or any presence of weapons. They should evaluate the situation by potential violence. They should be vigilant throughout the encounter and try to interact along with the staff. They should always keep an open path for existing. In case the situation cannot be diffused, then they should remove themselves from the situation. They can call security for help. They can call police with the permission of management. They call the quick response team or the rapid action team. Certain tips to handle mob violence. The first and foremost important is the rapid action group or rush team. A local rush team of doctors for helping doctors in distress should be formed, which includes senior respectable practitioners, for example, surgeon, gynecologist, general practitioner, anesthetist, etc. They should be only one phone call away, should reach the destination within 15 minutes in case of impending suspected mob violence just after a phone call. It is the team's responsibility to help the affected doctor in whatever way possible, though it's medical or communication matter with the relatives. Ideally, one should declare death, if any, only after the rush team arrive. The rush team must conduct itself very properly and with dignity. They should not take the charge of the situation. They should allow the owner to take the main chair and do the talking. They should be supportive only if communication is going in a wrong way. The working formula for the quick response team: one should make a group of minimum 20 hospitals or nursing home in a radius of 10 kilometers to form a QRT group security service and engage a good security agency for the services. One should get the QRT approved, informed to the Inspector General or Senior Superintendent of Police through our local medical association, appoint a security manager who will be posted at one of the group nursing home with proper walkie-talkie device. Each shift of group security consists of 3 gunmen, 3 bouncers, 1 driver with the Bolero jeep, which will do the regular patrolling of every hospital daily on 8 hourly shift basis. Daily patrolling of each hospital with half hours flag march in hospital starting from reception to intensive care unit. In case of emergency, the QRT reaches the affected hospital within 15 minutes. What is the duty of the quick response team? To protect and escort doctors or medical staff from vandalizing mob, to liaison with the local police and administration, to prevent violence by explaining to the attendants amicably, to advise security lapses to hospital administration, stay united to save our race, save the doctors to save the patient. The second important thing which we should do is security. The security on duty will always be outnumbered by the mob and hence inadequate during such vandalism. But each establishment should have CCTV footage, CCTV cameras installed, and there should be boards at conspicuous places saying that you are under electronic surveillance. This definitely will curb many such untoward incidents in future. Time has come that local association hire a team of bouncers who can rush to the scene in the same way as the rush team to avoid any possible vandalism. Then the next important thing is self-protection. You can learn judo, karate. You can think of resorting to holding gun licenses or possess legally allowed weapons to protect yourself in a matter of debate. But it's again a matter of debate. The next important thing is the insurance. Apart from professional indemnity, healthcare setups should also have insurance for damage to property due to riots. The premium for these insurances is very small in amount as compared to the losses one suffers. As soon as the vandalism occurs, one should take photographs of the damage. These should be submitted as evidence of damage in police panchanama or for insurance to claim damages. If any of the doctors or staff has been manhandled, it is important to send them to another nearby hospital, preferably a government hospital, for first aid. Do not yourself give them first aid, and to get an injury certificate which is needed in the police panchanama and later in the court. Regarding politicians, it's a double-edged sword. One should avoid involving politicians at this stage. They may help you in the present situation, but it may take your advantage later on. If they are from the side of the miscreants, being their vote bank, they will insist on cleaning the mess and destroying the evidence before photographs are taken. Another view is that we should call a known politician ourselves, because when such an incident happens, politician will come to the site anyway, which ways, whether you call them or not. And secondly, when a doctor's life and that of his or her staff is in danger, we should utilize all resources to curb the menace. Calling police. This is in fact the first thing one should do whenever one suspects a mob violence. Presence of police usually avoids any law and order problems. If there is intra-op death or immediate post-op death, then one should avoid giving death certificate and put the onus of explaining and need for medico-legal postmortem to the police. While following this, it is important to remember the following two facts. No law in our country prevents doctors from giving a death certificate if the cause of death is known. But in case intra-op death, which is generally not expected to occur, it is better to get the postmortem done by a medico-legal postmortem surgeon, because in case of litigation, the operating surgeon is usually one of the accused. Hence, even if the relatives or police force doctors to give discharge card, give death certificate, it is prudent to convince the police to take away the body for a medico-legal PM. It is not a statutory law that all deaths on table should be informed to the police. Only those cases in which death during surgery is generally not expected need to be informed, so that the police can take a call on whether the body needs to be sent for a medico-legal postmortem. If there is a high-risk case, for example ASA grade 4 with all consequences explained, dies on the table, police need not to be informed. One should hand over all the photographs and CCTV footages to the police. Cooperate in the Panchanama, which has a significant value but not defined anywhere in the law. It is a document courts look into to check the veracity and truthfulness of action taken by the public officers. One should insist on doing FIR against the culprits. It should be made as soon as possible. Many times police, they do not cooperate on this matter, but we should insist that doing FIR is must. Keeping a copy of law book. Again, it's a very mandatory thing for all of us. Many times police, local police, they may not be aware of the act against such vandalism which is in force in Maharashtra, Rajasthan, Andhra Pradesh and various other states. Hence, it is prudent to have a copy of this act always with you. As per the act, if found guilty of commitment, attempt to commit and to abatement, there can be imprisonment which can extend to 3 years with fine which can extend to up to 50,000 plus compensation or double the amount of loss, or as judged by the court. It is a cognizable, non-bailable offence triable by the court of the law in the judicial magistrate first class, and it is non-compoundable. Police may want to delay immediate arrest of culprits because it can worsen the law and order situation. However, if the police are denying arrest even after the cremation, make a complaint to the senior police officers or RTI and go ahead with writ petition. Inform the insurance company with a copy of FIR, CCTV footages and photographs. So to sum up with, mob violence will continue until doctors get back their lost respect, till our general population becomes literate, till there is a socio-economic rift between us and the general population, and until violence remains an inseparable part of our existence in the country. Our plea is that we do not intend to protect the negligent doctors. They can be made to appear in appropriate courts without manhandling. We cannot accept vandalism of any kind against doctors, hospital staff, other admitted patients and the establishments. The culprit must be punished as it is a non-bailable offence. The crime should be non-compoundable. Thank you so much.